Major so be Yamiadum now so.
Ekoi.
The whole year me who.
So they won't show me.
Yamio. Ananti.
Yeah. But so be aboko.
And your bokos are. Abokos are baby a jina and nevi titu or COVID-19 response program. No be obeka say boko biana or dada no. Ye wo problem. Fee numbers nankasa ye recorded. And even numbers, I mean, we confirmed and I say validated numbers, When you reports of incidents, be a fee was all more validated and I'm confirm at the count. Ususu now say, baby, even with the numbers now confirm on in your or more confirm the count. Enye baby I be pese be wo anope me nam council make Ministry of Information for the first time since the 6th na me call say National Security Coordinator ankasa
that story is confirmed.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed. Now one of your treatment centers emu and sana who follow reports are eba and first day of school reopening now untumi emfa unsensu bo say even in many of our schools utie the stories between public schools and private schools ne onoma sebi take up the responsibility say at least and first day ya me bane kono mema no mask man dia kono o ma say ko aban be ba mask dia obi obeka say ekoyi pa bibia ye no ditro nti there were issues but you hear him say by taking up your collective responsibility you be to me I jump us ahead with about BPA.
I think one of the things about and strangely I mean that was a binum focus after President delivered a 22nd update ENRA as to where to lay the blame for the current spike Yenya. And the president said, amongst other things, detailed investigations of the cases indicate that apart from arriving passengers at our airport who tested positive, infected persons have recent histories of attending parties, weddings, end-of-year office programs, family get-togethers, and funerals. At these gatherings, most of them abandoned the use of the masks and were engaged in actions that led to them contracting the virus. Some feel, say, Omanpenyi conveniently a political activity and bibia edi free.
I mean, first of all, I think, say, Obia uhune say baby ayejina no yenye blame game no. It's not recognizing the bigger challenge ahead of us. We are in the midst of some difficulties about your COVID-19 program. Do feel say was a debate between politicians and the rest of the public? Then I think you are missing the point. Okuna ye kono. Asemba kwa de bi e kan say ye the data na ye juma. Their data ne kire no eno ne de ye juma.
Ekosiisen
asembi o hwa sebe oka eto asum. Obi ti asem na oka na to me the na dream fa say na ye be sa. But ubon say be data no and support sa argument no. But moma ye kotwin komo no kugina hwa na ye waste time on a debate media me fa ne say ehun here. Because for example, yare ne ye say say ye wa be 14
days, yes.
Say ade a edu be gina baby enye ana edu be ko wu mu a within 14 days. Obi ani ho a e be ka say bi ayare no be ye bosome any echiri na still sa ayare na ene won so. Eno ye one. Eno no say be nye me pe na me de ka. Eno ye data ne size na echire sa de no. Etosu mienu. Rallies ne campaign time. Wo de fa ne say 1 week to the election and uncle for celebration 1 week after the election. Inti say data na wo hwa. Say nka abehwe to say bia be 1st December be 14th December. Not just a date no nka abehwe across the country because rallies ni election ni celebration and even demonstration and any amendments were across the country. Inti bisa won say data no from that time no any across the country data net is saying. Na fasa data no compare And because in Kasane tier the ankabons across the whole country, ubenya spike within that period.
Yeah.
Fato to home and the and across the whole country pona war spike, even though about 13 of your 16 regions are recorded cases. The concentration pie and crying any kumase.
Okay.
And crying kumase no crown pono so. Sebi, what specific areas are be home. Na titiri upono, say yare no bi anya bi no test positive a ye profile no. Osomesi a no bentin. And I mean fa unuanom e ofi ha ya enya bi. Obi a de ye profile no. Nti ye profile ye nimbe bi bia ye adwuma ti ukọ infan ko last week so bon safi ube profile nkofo be na na numbe bom no. No story na koye baako. Na afi wo ye hu ba bia spread no fi. Bi o ho a ube wi a ube contact tracing ubon se contacts no be say at any positive na wo hu ba bia fi baako na tema ho ba bi se factory baako nipa be 500
yeah.
And penifo no ye mu hwemu akohu se 10 star machine na no mo form de kono eno na be ye super spreading point we enye bosirem ka data no any science na ekyerew and they did away.
And the 18th January.
And I'm here. Yes, and the 18th January. The average number of cases I ever, and average, no, I mean, your 7-day moving average, different from the normal average I will strike it total over the baseline. The 7-day moving average, and this is a number 200 per day.
Per day, yeah.
So 200 per day, no, what they call 5 days, and then 1,000. To say your rate of daily infection, no. Say yentumi answa anu animu ya o ba be keka ko in about 5 days be 1,000 and at the end of multiplier no udi agra enkoso sa anye 1,000 na fi e ba be pagani mu and one more test positive no mu profile no na we get contact trace na so ye ko end of year party and na me anyway on be profile ni be wi no be testing ko for kakre be ne ho no almost yin na ko party ba ko and yin na nya bi na ye ko ye bi ne wie ye no ye ko tena se ko didi bomu me to studio you say ne glass etwa me ne wontem but wie ko tena se didi na nye se na ete ye ko party bi ye ko no obi a hye ne mask mo check yen emu ye ko tena se ye didi no bi ayi ne de na ye kasa na gya ya no nom kakra na nyina ye ni age ye twa picture ye ko ba ne ade nti wo hwe profiles of cases are eba ene within average of 200 per day.
Per day now.
You can trace it to you can trace to specific instances. Eno mampeni body say u trace dodo na more common histories in these places. Me no na Jamaica say me say ya complacent kakra. Ya reckless kakra. And a collective. And yes obi be ka say bia nkofo we mu na aya na nkofo nti omo feel say a debate na yemfa nkontri debate between one be we need debate no and no dey solve problem
because I was coming to my next question say
collectively
say are you reckless some would say okay attitudinal e be face and was a neoma be na e shape amanfo attitude and all of that into okay during the campaign season the who say yeah bibia funtuma bom any ade and after campaign you declare president and all of that up into December, celebrations not entering the campaign times and the Shema Yabuba from India celebration is young fan to him.
Collectively.
Yeah.
I'm so we Ghana scenario now. Senior dear no echo in front for say at ye my review. Collectively, a person and near my call, Yare no and no brassy spike biba crani to me assume there. Collectively, Yabe complacent and reckless kakra, especially during the Yuletide period. I know that no cry was say and you that no cry no collectively Yabe complacent and reckless kakra. Or no man share mask ni yipo. What I say? In fact, we share baby Veronica buckets here. Send your face no bia hohroninsa and no bones say bia no bia and hohroninsa. In recent months, the Ghana Health Service for presented data now. What means compliance with mask wearing in the crown now started before more bokoko. There's data to show say collectively I complacent, I reckless kakra. There omampeni can say was say ye my home so. Na senia ye fear see na nyina ye ni ekọ ho ye boy ho ban no ye hwɛ enye ne saa na no one man instruction to IGP say one mpanimfo omomom homodin na ye ma compliance no enkosoro
ensign kosoro
yeah na at the same time no so no the medical responses and as a medical interventions are you rule out no so no Ghana Health Service no Ministry of Health no so mpegem na dia as a area cost ragin sem no yet to me are arrested because scenario no baby ejina no de enye
meaning say time you're starting your plaudit around the world na nyoma bi ho na ye for example. And then our president mentioned it. Say, yes, about Shemo Kenasa enhance 3 T's. No, meaning there's only one major strategy. Your chocolate success to say chocolate earlier. At what point you jai sadi and why did we stop?
So big kase ye jaya and no cre. I say, me de bia me kase say, who make you right charger. And making it easier for any na near respond near who are some on the Puma Sibrania. So who could make you wrong charger? Now the end and baby I solve. And you know, Cressa, ye jai 3 T's na contact tracing has stopped. The name whom penny 4B or much or social media contact tracing has stopped. In terms of how can't say decade, but and you know, Cressa contact tracing has stopped. There have been problems. I'm telling you, there have been problems with contact tracing. But you know, Cressa it has stopped. There's a difference between ye jai contact tracing and ye name problems abem.
Problems, man.
First of all, we must understand that no contact tracing has stopped. Problems be mean and about contact tracing. And yet enhanced contact tracing now. You said that tea ni pagu krum say or munko areas ni
during lockdown period.
No, and no. Make the regular contact tracing. Contact tracing ye daddy. Say was able to Philip. He also was symptoms.
Yeah.
Into yen testo and now about forward for some reason say yen testo. Ekosiisen testo na say what any positive one. You know din komo say be in the last be 5 days eko 1 week no. Hwan mo na ono omo ehihia. Into ubebobo din na safo ni na ye trace o mti be trace o contacts. No mo so first no kra na ye trace you are monitor. Ye mpensem hu say utumi test any mani me akra hu no. Nti say no o contact trace ani monitor. Yeah. And only a year say per se you upgrade your testing capacity. Apart from buying enhanced testing centers, no. Near see yama private labs for also license, no almost to mean test be. Nemo almost test we are almost also this information, no. Emma public health system, no. Na contact tracing na was a koso no. One of the first problems are yenya yes so I say a good number of the labs, no. Or testi we na nipa na positive wa say na we 3 o'clock positive nkobeki into summer system no na public health sector no say bia ayawaso west district health ye hu say we are tested positive e wo ha say ni dini ni number ni doctor ohwe ni suni ye ne nkasa na on sa last 7 days you wan no ma nante bia na dwuma okwadwuma ne nansa no kwa sorry and call hanti and test safoni na ne ade no a good number of the private testing facilities no mo mayensa nkasa information no in good time be o about the time mayensa be kasa data no 4 days later 5 days later.
And when at what point asanyo many when was that?
Oh, this is my fan say in the last year 1 month to 6 weeks because meaning say Ghana Health Service abohudewra bom koko over and over again say mumma yensanka data no in real time ebi mo ho extra hands obefa etio ka mo man sa ade ni ntino bon say ye de akoko obi adwuma ho nti to bi a be 2 3 4 days sa 2 3 4 days na nipa kro ye positive no
or spread it
ana say nkofo e wo say nka ye usa de na e multiplier effect say enya na nke tumi hu na animanim ya na ye test ni contact no mo nyina ye mo isolate o mo ho a se contact ni be quite positive a on konko spread se ye hu de ni ntem bon se bia BCD contact no omo e wo bi omo kra ni mo because e bia na di wo medium no mo so spread nti by the time I be hu no one na nka ye ni contact tracing and now we 3 o'clock na nka e frefre omo nyina ba anwumre ba o channel pank obi a e che dem ma test no yan yen say 3-4 days that's how one na be 65 and we one problem say ekoba in this contact tracing nten no cross contact tracing ye jai.
But was that problem not solvable? Not intimi in
It was solvable. And Ghana Health Service, na make say mikra minim say in the last 6 weeks, Dr. Patrick Umabwaji or more one private labs and say one yen sa just say be a yanka say de nkofo betena mo lab with a laptop. No ma capture data ni na e de amai because sa obi test positive ni aka che no telephone so say madam o test na be na positive nti frɛ wo doctor no nhwɛ nti bia otifie no afrɛ ne doctor and doctor say o Zithromax na to we na otifie but na ono so spread kakra zankofo kunu so nim spread ko nti anya no cross contact tracing no ejai the other part of it ne say yare na no brase nurse for doctor for ni ade a no mo ye adwuma o baabi a ye kofa o mfi hode o mo ba ahasa o mo meboa ano brase na ye close ye isolation centers a ye biebie ye ne some of the treatment centers we no mo start to come back the same energy speed resilience with which I know mo ye tracing no ubon say bia nenye the same one like before say part of what is happening is say also we recalling for if you different places add some more numbers, some more vehicles to add back to it now omatumi a bit more aggressive inti and I mean say wrong charges there more so be cast a contact tracing stop then you know cre challenges kakra be mu challenges no na madam in fact now part of the decision is say facility I will be tested we test we are won't share data with us, you will be stopped from conducting any further tests.
Any further test.
Then rather those who will be willing and ready to comply, are the ones that will look to.
But if indeed, say, now facilities in data.
A good number of them.
Okay, a good number of them in data, and which data can be leading in the contact tracing now. If we were not getting that data, as I said, now we are not doing the contact tracing. No.
Oh, so I make catch or say. Contact trace, but first of all, private facilities no testing. Private facilities only add on. Public sector, they they are going through that process. They are doing it. Now they are also expanding count private for now also complementing. So no testing 100 crampo na so share that information with you. If you say you are beginning to get that problem. And I make actually say even in the public sector and I said the general one. Say first nani do nurse for be do ne public health for be do no ni akofo ma ba say omonya yare na no bad down to be 190 120 so be akwa na juma back to bon say the same resilience near there. It is when you see these ones popping up then quickly you begin to mobilize people from various areas to come and help with
two questions. Number one, you know me from on a buy and you say you put in place a very rigorous testing regime airport. But not protocol here they say obi eba you're testing or not testing negative na okofie.
I would testing negative there. I said there's no reason to stop you from going to
and we were not quarantining people.
No. You see, it was a choice between mandatory quarantine, which comes with its costs and inconveniences. And I say close airports no cry MOBIAMA. Ube be the any be mandatory quarantine. Mandatory quarantine we nipa bagana on a daily basis in a week more than 10,000 people.
Hotels in Abema.
And if it's a 14-day mandatory quarantine, would you 2 weeks per pushadi? And I hear so many hotel beds Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. That's your second. The third one is Ube introduce a fast, high quality testing mechanism at airport. Now no you testing if we know a negative due to me coffee or a positive ni a profile. Your profile na say a idea was say a geno to them or a gena to them. A idea Yemano ekofie kobon ho dwane ehwe no fie like home treatment na yetumi emano ekofie na doctor for nurse for na ade na chi na yahwe the treatment no. So all options no. The option Ghana chose was that PCR na first 72 hours. And I said within a 72-hour window to me travel. PCR and say bro 72 hours ayenye. Okay. Into within 72. But apart from who do Ghana, I will say a sound test to biome. Same quality of test. Will be a catcher say antigen ni PCR. Pacho Ghana Standards Authority, go Food and Drugs Authority. Na could be so. Two ni the same technology, but they arrive at the same results. So Ghana elected say a antigen test, and so far about 800 positives over the period. Of course, bebre huatom. What I say, but antigen has been able to arrest about 800, and then you are profiled first, no. Na your profile we are a home management na ye ma kufie. I just say your profile we need to say there be underlying health conditions, you share address baby out there. Then you will be kept within your treatment facilities. Say no crampo there is now a mandatory you test positive, you're going to stay within the care facility until after we are treatment we are now a negative and not yamao.
And that is the protocol in place now.
And that is what is functional. And no, now my requirement to me be a airport, no, but here containing risk, no.
The other thing is that because now me say yes, ABI will be within 72 hours. I PCR will be fee airba or baby do ye antigen or international or testing negative or befia. But mostly what happened is a nipa niya befia ye monitor. And be after 2 weeks, then the partner starting your symptoms are within that 2 week period, they be or the assign and you know the year drew baby do as a year who spike.
Again, me okay make us go back to the data.
Okay.
The data does not support that.
Okay.
So, first of all, will be a positive one. The gold standard test a PCR.
Yes.
And a be pekino and temper gold standard. And see, as first year PCR test no. First of all, we are positive one. PCR be to me a pick here, to me for playing back. But possible say a nano pay who test positive ni within the 72-hour window nansa na who for playing to me pick it. Yari no sabi obi ebia meba office say me negative. Me better na he ebia ni po better na ha be kasa ya ansa na okono. Or you're positive. Na no test you and I say bibi kakra gu ase. Me kasa me nsa kwa akoka. Me de aka mani ana me hwene ana amano. Me to me are infected. Me are infected that. Be have first 3-4 days and you test me cry. Depending on the good.
Yes.
But 3 and you can pick it within 15 seconds.
Absolutely.
10 seconds, 5 seconds. And just one single droplet.
Yeah.
Into 3 days is still a lot of time for somebody to pick it up. Into a testing negative. But over 3 days, wafa taxi, fini fee, wakofa train, wakofa debe or tam bag way, bedu airport, the line, munike kane ababe full plane, atne we mshemo all these hours, or she mask there, tenemwa ababe do airport to hawk ramp up and down there. It's possible, say, ubibe to me, are picking up after testing. But antigen testing, no boy, ma. Say, even within that 3-day period, no, wa pick up, kra, na me catch us say, about 800 of them. I know are picking up within the 3 days. PCR no and to me and pick up. Antigen to me and pick up. And then now you exclude these persons and provide them with a supportive treatment here. And some of me rather the general Ghanaian population. You need any reason to believe say obi or positive within that 3-day period. Antigen test no am pick. And wabi rather Ghanaian population.
Antigen so a margin of error. Until there be behind me pick you.
But I mean the PCR and antigen or margin of error no difference in shedani. But so within a 3-day period, no nipa no enye bia antigen no to me pick. And I make say so far 800
have been picked.
And now so far me brief me wo ye ni any evidence bia so me see na obintin o tu kwan and oba na test na mpeke and obetina fie na ansa ye ni any evidence bia. Who profile omo cases no eba say average of about 200 a day now.
Yes.
Who be profile nyina be wie no so ye ko end of year gathering wa ha ye ko ha enra na mehwe mfoni bi and make say collectively ya complacent and reckless kakra nyes obi blame obi o hwe ade no ekoyi a nipa dodo na guard eba down enra me hu photos papa pani ba ko birthday party Ghana mpani fo bibre wo ho who call on Facebook, I'll be home photos. No, Enra. So, Papa Penny Mono, the 50th birthday. Ube who Ghana penny for be brave. Yen names are dena ko yin in your bemben, we near Geo, Yamin Shaw and Kikani idea. Me say Christmas, me call parties, be or in Fitia say, will be ashes a mask near there. But to bones last time. Aircon where you glass where you mask enti yentiase enyentokwa nyeso obi bo bi kwadu yentiase se yenyina atiye ama arefre kakra bem na ade no pick up na ye boy ho kokoye kai ho no e wo se man ho ne so na me yenye ne se na ye politician e no dey solve problem
ye true level yenyina ye hu sade no e ma ne ho me so no. Why would government take a decision say ye ma enko school at this time?
For a number of reasons. First of all, decision be on mampeni be take biano. Obisa the experts sector no so in the first place. What is the level of risk associated with idea we say, and how can it be mitigated? Because the mama so atene say, enye elimination of risk. Because yare no ewo global ecosystem ni mo. Ebi won kran ha se ebi wo kuma se ene nam. enti to the extent say yentumi eliminate we ase no virus no was system no na protocol mom say living with the virus because first time man panic can live with the virus go for train about so because now mun si abotre enti de okan enti yare ne be wo ho ba yeso o say ye koso efa ehu kwan ya be fa so aboye bra te no awutie ni speech no say kwan be fa so akọ school ye be ye dwuma ye be kodwom ye be kwan ye be fa so aboye bra wa bra yare yi wo ho enye saa ne ye kase ye twen ma yare no anu abra se 0 kura dia which is our target ansa na yaboye bra ye beka dem for bosomi de wo ho yeso ye system no ye kase ye total or partial lockdown for bosomi de wo ho senior last one e be see ye no okom be kunkofo o mine economy na kura be shut down kakra obi benya de akona no o nya nkona no ntia wo se finding ways by which ye be koso aboye bra e wa bra virus no global ecosystem nti e kwan be na e be fa so ya ye nhihye aye nsohwe krada pilot project aye ma first you say final year for university omunko cultural exams after say continuing students omunko nkosua de kwan be na be zo mask share nsuo class sizes yenti team nsuo ni seminar ye de horo ye social distancing and physical distancing e wo campuses ni ade ye na sa na titru for boarding schools no de koba ni say universities ni senior high school air boarding almost I map to health facilities no enkwala no to me cool school yankasa yare numbers no to be anything forever enkwala no to me cool school but baby bi buy no doctor for ni public health for ni aden e to me so ano in fact in fitiase na panic akrakra wom akra girls anameba
akra girls
to your parents bi o ati say enkwala mi no bi anya bi wo school a doctor for ni penifon say si abotre obitumi nya bi but e kwan e be fa so na ya hwe no ntem nti screening sa thermometer ga me be mo de mo nkofo a check me de ye check ni ade na be hu say early symptoms bi be mu a na ye tumi aso ano e se asuahu no na ama mpanimfo etena ase no omo bisa akosa say nti so ye be schools a eyi ana eno mo ansa ne say eyi emom de hia ne say bam boy wo say ye de ma nkwala ne teacher fo ene omo ayi adwuma o school ho ti Veronica buckets ene nsuo ne seminar wearing of face mask baby ana nkwala mienu ene te akonwa ba akoso ye nchiche omu ne ade no ansa na kwan e be fa so ya map schools no to medical facilities na ye screening nkwala no on a daily basis no eno be boa ma nkwala na tumi afiase akosuku sa bre wa bra yare ne wo wiase afa na nyina but e betumi so ahwe abo wo ho ban eno nti na ama sa bre ya ye gina after nkwala na tena fie for almost 1 year after nkwala na tena fie for almost 1 year yenye suahu bi say ye boy ho ban say ya eyeye e ma nkwala na tumi kosuku na advice na omampani agene say se sa na ye na ye dia ye mbie schools no na nkwala no emfiase enkosuku na mmom bambo no ene wo se ye hwe na
ye shemukena but say wo hwe the evidence on the ground day one ankwala eco school na it doesn't look it say yetimi ahye bambo ni mukena
in repair utie reports na eba no Ghana Education Service almost monitor we show almost reports na ade a eba say kase 100% as planned na yeditro but senior net te wo tertiary any senior high school no day one ne dey untanya ne perfect to dey be a logistics a dey boa no ye dey fi baby e wo say fi akwakodu regional capital ni pa obehwe say fi regional capital akodu district akodu school mu ho ama ya chairman kwala anu mpo no bo say gap kakra wo to dey be 2 days 1 day ansa na ho no the here ne say sa bre sa report yi be ma Ghana Education Service and o ma monitor logistics distribution ni ade ne be say high na de be pia akom no eti say time ye fi okona say a doctor for nurse for say na ni mask na ni PP ni ye go through by 3-4 because there was no way we could say ye ni PP nti ye jai e mo bi amba hospital but now we say improvise ye ko anima be 2-3-4 months of adjusting the system afi setting up logistics committees at to the district level and no ebo am say unse say ankomoni na no ekofom saa so na we ya ye bie schools yem say ye be ne nkakra but we say ye ntentem na yet me make sure say nkwala no bambo no ebegyina ne naso.
In the end, Monday, minimum monitor report across the country. Ebekwa kosi da ben ne ebe sure say yenkwala ni nyina benya nose mask aban
me ka se metna ha bod data na ebusrim ka. O ma fiase with the monitoring no Professor Opoko Amankwa ne regional and district directors ne ade o monitor the kind of reports that are coming. O man kasa monitor and sana mu nyina central for ne ade so more pick up draw your attention to it. In fact, to say your regular press briefings are nanke ye no Ministry of Information no and ne anya ochna enye be no kwada because at least omunya 48 hours be e the monitor. So some new direction be ana bibia kwada no pa you see simply so to me amasa direction at 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning. But as at now they monitor what is going on across the country to be sure that the level of preparation I was say and some full class sessions are starting to me amano ejina
and so the government will have no difficulty say yes I are locking down schools nibio.
Oh na o my money na lockdown no man penina can say baby ye pese ye kodu no so ohwepete takrem na senye ho na ye kwa he will not hesitate to lock down on my money na say partial lockdown any school. Tiano there is not something that government will hesitate.
But parents to school fees.
Oh na say until for example say Manusi Suminaso.
Yes.
Me leader say Chairman Sabuzo because perish the thought. Perish the thought to say bibia kwa akobana you say your closest schools be.
Yeah.
So of course you need to make school fees nashi. It's not fathomable. No. But it's not something that is on the table currently. Perish the thought. Yeah, sure him say schools are ABA, nkwala eko, teacher for eko, ma yedmo school ho. Bambo was here the mom na bibi ankochimano. Yeah, sure him say ebebem. Musa no suya humbi osi suya de adjusting. O my nanka mpesa kobane say schools ne bia eko him. Ebane sa de a minyi say obi ameka say school fees ashare na say bibi sa.
The other point the new variant of the virus I recorded ewa hano. I mean, would that justify why you be in airport? For example, Sanka Yatuto land borders nimono. You continue with the lockdown of your airport now. We will not be talking about a new variant of the virus because countries are yet developed than us. New variant needs to repeat almost say BB. Unfortunately, you be our Ghana. Should we still have to open our airport?
Maminche mukakra de bia me say data no ne science na e adwuma. So because yenya new variant ni bi Ghana ha say temi ye o enya no kore. Temi no te. O mampani anka say yenya new variant ni bi Ghana ha say. Enkofo ni bia ya test wo mo airport a enka wo mu ewuram into the Ghanaian population no. You test you pick samples for genomic no
sequencing.
Omo run no me who say new variant. Nam say be immune say me ensani no. Ebi wo ebi mu diem. You will be more about omo ba na omo test positive no. The first variant ni more my own vaccines near there.
Ekosiisen on
any ye wo ebi mu so a omo test positive no me genomic sequencing of you who say a new variant of virus no.
In the Nipa na mfenwura larger society nim.
Eno nti na make say temi ye. Nti say ka say ebi awuram ye hu bi Ghana na nye no kre. Sa abre ya me no ka say data ye wo no sa na kire. However, positives na MF airport no so no omo ye na genomic sequencing. Say ebi awuram a ye behu.
Okay.
Ebi awuram a ye behu ba sa abre ya me no ka say the data ye wo and support this argument.
Say new variant ni be a system.
And support this argument. It be a rumor. Omo ye no me any profiling near there.
We'll pick that one.
Yeah.
Oman Penny Saika say going forward enhanced 3 T's near Sanya Babe Shemu Ebio. And I recall say one of the reasons Oman Penny a partial lockdown was to allow us to do some enhanced tracing, testing, and treating. No. Under the current circumstance, I am call into any partial lockdown. How successful would that be?
Okay, Obi, I'm saying what confusing issues be me.
Okay.
Penima partial lockdown to study the dynamics of the virus. Yes, steady we no. Enna, you roll it out 3 T's. Said this is the way to go.
Okay.
Because that time you hear infection rate, no. So that time you say a 0.5 into you need 2 positives to actually even create 1 new positive. So that time no you think of 4 good chroma out to fear no mabe boom. Say ubia test positive. Or 3 houses away.
Yeah.
Into 4 houses around, no. Yeah, test ubia or 4 houses. No, yeah, the car ne ko 14 car mo ko enti. So that time no be call no Gucci and you maybe anom the samples say ba because na fi yeah community sweeping kakra sa enhanced sweeps ne tracing no. Ye wie no ne hu say ade no 3 T's no na be boy. Inti the partial lockdown was to enable us study the dynamics of the virus. No ye study we any the 3 T's no e buy. And the dynamics of the virus no because a bebre and I said do one answer sign. Sekoban is a new variant now studies say and was spread faster. As an old variant no. Say bia ye kuhu say ebi wo
community
adorso ana bibia. Say UK say omo sequencing we almost a new variant no adorso spread it because I know spread it faster than the older variant even though yenka say more deadly. Say spread it faster. I don't say echo back into another
lockdown in some areas.
Inti say Ekobani say for example 1 numbers no down. Na 2 data no crash suggest say new variant no atiete si ukrom ha. My penny the data no and I take a decision. I've not seen him being afraid to take any decision so far. Even including making laws and doing things as controversial as saying say at a point he did all of that.
Yeah.
But data na eba ne advice am penifo no e de e man no or sesen or the good nseniania we are decisions no be arrival at no na ye di unkomenti as at now there no decision has been made for a lockdown currently.
Okay.
But man penia can plain say na DBA can all options, all cards are on the table. Because I will record 200 new cases a day.
A day. It's alarming.
200 times 5 yeah, 1,000. And so here graph no of the 7-day moving average now. Graph no cost because first not 7-day moving average. 30, 45, by abedu by 100. Say acquire in a day by 100. Say I started do 200 baby away. Now say I'm from next started cost. You should now get to a point where you are very worried. And Oman Penny will not hesitate to take some more drastic decisions should it come to
as far as even lockdown is concerned.
It's been quite clear.
And this is here no one kind anything about lockdown, but something about the enhanced 3 T's. Yeah. You're saying under the circumstance.
So we are providing more personnel, more logistics, including vehicles, etc. To do a number of things. Private labs now no share data with us.
Yes.
Part of what Ghana Health Service wants to do is to send people to each of those private labs.
Okay.
And station them there permanently. So omon capture data na mai. No omon fengu SOMAS platform so that's a positive view mo.
Yetumi
ehun ne na by na nwumre ye ne nipa kro no ne contacts no akasa say baby a udin aba pa no pe na me ne pani ba ko meeting your platform back. So to me adan also your friend say obi a test positive na nipa kon the details
aba
until no was observe for a while and send away to me. Madam Esla Ekufu, for example, she went into isolation for a while because she was contact traced to somebody. I think just about a little over a week ago. One more personnel, and making more personnel available, including Ibinko private labs for Crampo, Enko Gadas Aditanamai, and no more to me Abuana yet to me. ISR contact tracing calls near the end no into me. 2 logistics to say vehicles etc. Here baby also mu koko track you be koko chase you be or baby na ye to me picking a sample and some follow-ups so also mo obi ya or fie in isolation and pass over and I will pay all of those ones into ye before ups are part and also Emma acronym and sana ye treatment facilities obi say omo ehiam pa under severe and critical enyo mu nyina na nyampa
omo hia empa
yes
that's omo yare ni mu ayedin
yes
omo hia empa wo hospital
yes enyo mu nyina na nyampa
aden
because a certain limited amount of critical care facilities. What you say?
Yeah.
Mpa etumi hwe severe and critical facilities. So wo hwe no na hwe omo a hia enye omo nyina na enye binti ehu hia say additional facilities. Also at a point we even decommission some of your isolation centers and Canada because now you're no aba form and I make us say at ye ema ye nyina I will free kakra e ba ye so. Into the other part of the medical response and say I will say reactivity some of these
isolation
places,
centers, no? Any treatment centers,
any critical and severe care beds, no.
Okay.
I will say to me activity be. Maybe to say Professor from Pomboatin facility say.
Yeah.
At a point they had to even literally wind it down because there were no patients. In fact, Oman Penny 2 weeks ago when he spoke to us, not severe and critical,
yeah.
But in the last 2 weeks,
33 critical cases.
Into uhia severe and critical. Ukaboma severe and critical no. Uhia beds ni bi aka ho ne logistic ni bi aka. And also said this week they are quickly ramping up a bit of those now. Should we, perish the thought, have a worse situation than what we have now? No, facilities to contain those ones. So,
conversation back where I recall was ventilators.
Yeah,
and the fact na ye dia was on mine isra. Around PA, Crabby, buy and all of that. See, I was saying
I can get those numbers for you. We need those numbers here now, but minim say ye rampo up be across public and private facilities. It be mukrabe che be near there. Me say be by Wednesday. Meet me and my doctor. Abuaje provided some more answers when we do our press briefing.
But we are not at a position I be overwhelmed.
But Omampenia warning say if this situation continues, in fact, I know there's a part of the speech, say if this situation continues, your public health infrastructure, and I say your healthcare infrastructure to contain the situation will be overwhelmed. A serious scenario near woman. I told you be a nanko for na yemfenye. But a very serious scenario. Set trend no, curve no.
200 a day no.
I'm back down because you see the number of people are falling severely or critical ill, a percentage of the number of people infected. Granted, say, would over 120 severe or critical beds.
Yes.
And no bear man be an HSO a total number of cases be. Because the moment you cross that total active case count, no, the percentage, and I said the nominal figure, severe or critical beds, and also cost. Says newly daily infections, yen to me and fem back down in the next 1 week. And now yen stabilizing in the next 1 week. Ne koso bro sa 200 now. Then we are heading into a crisis. Yes. Inti also be a fan serious. Very, very serious. And sana yari no tio. First of all, so be catch also unya ba kwa untumi nya bi omo a. Enya no kore. In fact, part of the evidence here in Ghana are people who when you know more than once. Two, the fact that when you first time we are asymptomatic, maybe I would utike kena yo ya no. Enchiresa who say the second time sana be yo. And sana 3. Obi oha onam ho no. Onim ni underlining Ghana for yen this regular checkups. Nti onim ni eso mu wi na be un say bia o kidney and our liver and our BP. And the wakwa no. Enti say ye catch us say numbers no edu 200 a day. Let's say and running nipa mako 400.
And I tested positive.
Yes. What the dabako ka ho 600, 800, 1,000. Now make catch us because of the multiply effect. No, udi agro anyeri bia na be 200 and I'm 200 na fia ko 210, 220, 280. By the time I be 3-4 days cycle, na numbers no baby edu no ya ye hu emu ya ye yuram. Inti enya bia also bia fan lightly say okay inti one ye blame no and ye blame journalist and I blame we and there be ye wo collective responsibility. Senior tete no ye no na eba form ye nyinara ye nyina very very responsible ni ade ye sa na se ye nyina ye complacent ye reckless kakra na numbers ni mu apija e wo se ye nyina ye ba together na ye hu de ebe ye nhihye no ye be di so ema no abadown.
Even at the time I started this whole fight against COVID started, did we get to a point and I recorded 200 cases a day?
Let me say in the initial build up no if my memory serves me right,
Yeah.
we got somewhere there and maybe a bit higher. Because at the point, now active case number 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000.
At the point, now active case count. Once first, no, be a cumulative cases.
Yeah.
Bra and sana, obi a say data nene say was all active case.
Cases,
and no crampo me kai first and oh, free ho on person a very cumulative cases or that I was here go active case. They say gradual obi hon. So that time no more no. Ye call kakra. But senia ye nara. Na ye ni woso ni ade na boa yen Emma gradually tiffy 5,000 be do jama be I'm say as low as be 300 and something people.
Yeah, about 340 something.
Now in the last 2 weeks,
Yetimi shoot about 1,900
yes,
plus.
yes. And ne me tie nyina misuru say by the time I be end of day meeting say what is the additional new cases and ne would be
Like you trim 2,000.
Misuru. Because we say numbers no any sharp rise and sharp reduction take a while kaka but also biara ema ehu hia no say first na obi ka say oh yare no kranye no kre ana mate numbers ne say but minimum biara no say almost obi ani be din common onim obi a either say wanya bia na say wahwere ne nkwa teche say ade no e ban fi ti mensa da mensayem yesre moma yem fa say moma mpani ka no serious na yehu bambo no yemfa no serious na titru yenkwala so a eco school sabre so no dia wo betumi aye dia boa say na utie reports na a lot of the private schools no even though an first day no between the school ni awofo no say akwala ni eco school first day and sana ni say akoka ne mask no
kwaku odi bi fifie ba
efua kofi je mask na sheko. There are some parents in some schools who are about family a collective responsibility.
Wow. Ekosiisen ne high asempa 94.7 FM. Mene honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah and AD Nkomo or MP for Ofuase Ayerebi constituency. Ene omampanyin na nadodan kwa Akufo-Addo apa ne say onsi na name ewo information ministry. Kojo, I believe say a new portfolio no sanete. President representative at the information ministry.
Me patron, that's my new portfolio. Well, any portfolio, Hwechire Juma say Hwechire wa brafi na omampani echiche na ba.
Omampani echiche na ba. Eno ho nkomo wo ho say yehwe ni edi. Going forward the next 4 years, how our new a shape up. And me who Moody's report be minim say we hu na eka about yen debt profile and baby aqua could do CC and I don't know if you've seen that report. I think my Joy Online reported on that. And mekaina actually because clearly omanpanyin eka say trend no echo say ya nhwa na effort aban person odi gu akwan mu to revitalize the Ghanaian economy na nhwa na anye yi ana say emu akwa
it was severely undermined
effort
Obi yari ebaye say we fight pandemic a pandemic comes with two crises.
Yes,
that's a crisis but the public health crisis kofo a yare kofo a wu and there are some studies that say yare unya kra na kwa jansu so bi also ebi mo jawm ayurefree ebi mo jawm all sorts of other medical complications. I know omo studies kaka. But the other crisis apart from the public health crisis, the economic crisis that comes because in your bid to fight it, at the instance so ba usika sem so ukoye lockdown gban udi agra o man no sika sem na ade nyina be collapse nkofo nyuma where private schools be bre hotels tourism facilities where my operating cinemas any nightclubs obi abobesia de bie cinema obi abobesia de bie nightclub na ade the economic crisis need the change say part of economy to me shada and even in restarting the economy stimulus sika uhia e dia restart economy no so as can say unya no at a time and say prepare rest can in so now when eda woman no sika sem so ura Biden say no say na so 1.9 trillion and no cry is like and yet the first and the last two it's like their third economic package the first one you cry on baby jina ninsun so one say so mine sika sem nyina e bofom adwuma e bofom no sika also bansa kade adwuma nkasa kra no emma the revenues have suffered grossly in many parts of the world. Yeah, Over the big pie, uchiche mu almost a part be a suffer. But revenue has suffered. Revenue no air suffer no. It comes at a time with normal expenditure. Kurampuna. Time na revenue ni yeju crown. Normal expenditure. Over around 5% deficit. Because demands of the Ghanaian public, any revenue kakra na eba no kra no, e boy brant de bia je se okobo besia bi e be hyem finfin ho. Sa bosia bo no in deficit terms ye ba ye na say empese be tra 5%. But COVID ba ya tra. Now see a parliament ko suspend because there's no way revenue number na demand normal demand no kra emba no be ka say 5%. And sana COVID ni kra ba enti no, e also spending more in some specific areas. In Sio, enyinam kanea medical facilities are sebe ebia unwie here also to me wie allowances to frontline health workers nkeka ho ne ade a wo say private businesses are here support them and the MBSS anti expenditure envelope no crash so
on Asempa
akosro ebema post 2020 this is 2021 goal economic recovery no enye easy. And until I was here making sure, say, Yari, and you bet me also an anthem. Near get it back to your recovery in them. And yes, I send your man penny can. It will severely hamper the recovery agenda.
That recovery agenda, because the report on my jaw online says Ghana's economy could come under some pressure from the rising debt, which is projected to hit about 80% of GDP by the end of this year. According to ratings agency Moody's 2021 Sub-Saharan African Outlook report. Already the debt to GDP ratio has crossed the dreaded 70% mark, putting the country in the highly debt distress category and increasingly threatening the stability of the economy. And there is a quote here which says, "We expect most Sub-Saharan African sovereigns to see their debt burdens rise further in 2021. The average debt burden in the region will hover around 64% of GDP in the near to medium term compared to the 47% average in 2015 to 2019, Moody's said." But 80%, that would be terrible.
That would be quite dire. Until whoever Mampeni be appointed as minister responsible for finance,
no?
One of the major tasks, how do you balance revenue mobilization and your dire debt situation at a time our economy no and recover fully? Now what to me meet expenditure I was say meet one to keep the economy afloat, two to deliver even on promises because there's no way at 2024 you bet me I say COVID didn't yam fulfill promises move on check. And I've say well that's what leadership is about. Inti a first be raise revenue with dire debt cap say baby abel now still what to me meet expenditure expectations na that also no and no need the challenger that winning but me very optimistic say your economic management team generally he will find the relevant persons who
to deal with
that
this.
It happens.
But why is Ghana's situation unique relative to your in debt levels? Because the report says further, Kojo say, we do not expect debt burdens to come down in the foreseeable future as revenue generation capacity remains weak. Or say in Sub-Saharan Africa, higher external vulnerability indicators, which are a measure of short-term debt and upcoming external debt maturities against international reserves, will be more challenging for sovereigns outside of monetary unions. Zambia and Ghana will see the greatest external vulnerability indicators pressures, with 2021 levels forecast to be 509% in Zambia and 143% in Ghana. What have we done wrong? Because COVID and Haiti, two countries.
No. But also so here a debt profile. Now here your maturity schedule. First of all, the portion of your debt profile external. Minkra annual public debt report was but quite significant. The portion of your debt profile external. Ura Kenoferata BD finance minister. And why a lot of reprofiling. Ama part of and I said the portion and external bibri, you know. Say bibri and I say ebia swinga be domestic. And sana be the tenor nanka say 3 months, 3 months, 6 months, 3 months, 6 months. Maturity profiles near a year. They say you say you call for longer dated day.
Yes.
Inti ura can offer you may be a wire no. Ama ye external debt pressures na perform kakra. Enum po. Ena moody say kase. Sabre ade bako ahwe the external debt risks no. Times bena u maturity no hit. And sana percentages ahe uhwe the portion of your data emu ahe na external. Enum po no kase offer contribute say Ghana ni Zambia. Eno na ebe ha kakra because obi ote abrochire a wama commercial debt. Or no, there so COVID, uni COVID or genesika maturity naso. And to say a high percentage, and the time aswa, and no be creative further difficulties ama because revenues number, domestic, and I say general debt profile no crampo no. Nyabusia bebre na obetumi abo. Me can so maturity be a da so aso, and enye be a wo fa na unu ebi no aka so fa cheme. And I say mami restructure ma die. Time na so na time na so. It created further difficulties for us moving into this window. But then I make us a lot of confidence in the team that we have managing the economy, and I'm optimistic that they'll find ways of doing it. 2017.
Yes.
They were near similar scenario. NMI be 2.28 billion euros equivalent domestic in 1 day. Raise the CD equivalent to be able to reprofile a lot of those maturity demands na urban and even provide some domestic reserves ma abino etumi start here fulfilling nema basic bia na ewosoye. We are in a difficult spell as a country, but like I keep saying, Penifo Edi and have the capacity to find the answers.
Well, the current outlook at Moody's the vindicate claims the criticism be our opposition no at the bomb in the run up to the election relative to your debt to GDP.
Oh, debt to GDP figures, let me say, are quite known, and the evidence had been say, "Senya udi no, na kev ne kofo."
Yeah,
and sana COVID fear say hete ya your revenues badan. Oh yeah, lockdown 2 weeks in Krampo, and now close private schools. Ukofa Ghana Statistical Service for data set now education is one of the columns. Who close be half of it, and now who close in Accra. What I say, particularly component private. So what's a growth in tax revenues near the few
yes,
echo down, and as a consequence, no your debt build up never cost because I feel bobesia. I mean, yeah, Jessica or ha to show up baby anemba to say debt to GDP situation no ebe kosoro. Does that mean you have mismanaged the economy? No. The criticism of the NDC was that COVID. Now we have mismanaged the economy. But even the Moody's reports near the end tell you clearly say prior to COVID, we were on a good path. COVID be Haiti will be in Kobimba. Emma no go Dubai, the China nearby. I na akwaba. Into business or more incomes, taxes or mutuani adina. Seko. The COVID are hitting the economy no significantly. But it hitting the economy significantly, it doesn't vindicate to be a no sebi otan unti usunyawa sakra na wachi pakra that doesn't vindicate him. Baby ayewono. What we need to do quickly is to recover from COVID. And how to do that is to ensure say yenyi nara ebe pimpin so na nkwana ne wo se ye ma yare na no brasen yetume ma na brasen ne yetumi aboye bra tin enura no mampani ka se kwa be fa so akwa adwuma kwa be fa so akwa school yakwa sorry ye be say as normal as possible. Yet me ye ne sa na economy no ba back on track afi nyuma bie obi akọ oba onunya ne kakradi wetu ane simple ana teku ana na afi bon se besia na ye body support because sika ma no sa besia no eswati say if you go by this Moody's projection at some point to the agro cry you will go beyond 100%.
100%.
Yeah, if you go by this I will say a recover from COVID non tentem. Now economy, you can't say two crises. The public health crisis, I will say a recover tentem. Now the potential economic challenges, no, it will overcome no. Now if you are back onto your growth trajectory.
The other challenge will be say because he ain't mean raising revenues because of COVID again. Now I was see meaty some expenditure lines, no. A bank would have to get the money from somewhere.
And only borrowing.
No. This might push us into HIPIC, no? Because the mean raising revenue.
Well, first of all, HIPIC a technical term. First, also highly indebted.
Yes.
we are not at that point where we say we are a highly in fact, first of all, I was a poor country.
Yes.
Now, ube highly indebted. Afi minuna bebomni akasa we a epic. Highly indebted
poor country.
We are not a poor country.
But across the dreaded 70%. Yeah. We are projected to go to 84%.
Be that as it may, kasa we are highly indebted.
Yes.
You cannot be a highly indebted poor country. You may at worst be a highly indebted middle income country.
Middle income.
Technically speaking, technically speaking, that epic argument doesn't hold. But I think the argument is, do we want to be in a scenario where we are one, highly indebted, and two, not at a point where yet me poverty significantly over us. We don't want to be there. Until the earlier we conquer the public health crisis and guard against the potential economic challenges, the better for all of us.
The better for all of us.
No nipa baako na be. Nyese baako be bubu ni nsa atena be say, ye de yen si ye hwɛ mo, da bi. Ye nyinara. Entina enura mete stories be say obi akoye test wo baby. Wa test positive. No kwabra na enti wo say mama 500 na me change na nye negative ma. Na ida so obi tu kwan na bi na me say enti wo de first of all yemfa ne say yampa. Minim say no good for say omo ye investigation. E be by close of day today on be my hu de si. But ode ye assume say there ye hu social media na ye no kre. Nti obi a oyɛ saa no. Nti ono oyɛ saa wie. Na abobo ne nsa so otwen aban. De aban be ye. Ye de saa na teacher oman. Esa ye collective effort na ye na wo born for. FM. Collective effort na ye na wo born. Na obi a ote oman mu a o hye nkombone no. Say ba mu a. E bi count.
Also e bi count.
Nti a collective responsibility.
And I don't know who will lead us to police for mandating going out there and it's anima. Yeah, but I mean, kind messages as we draw to a close. So it will be good afternoon. Ghanaians must be very careful and take the COVID-19 seriously by wearing the mask and go with all the necessary protocols. With a new COVID variant, it can affect anybody, whether you have complications or not. It has nothing to do with old age. In Denmark, both young and old guys are dying in their numbers. Most of the pubs and nightclubs in Ghana are still open. The full glare of the police. And they are not arresting anybody, even though the president has given instructions not for them to be opened. Some of the institutions and the mentality of some Ghanaians have contributed to the high spike of the virus in Ghana. That's from Mr. President in Denmark. Good afternoon, Obi. Watching you live from Nungwa Bank Road. Obi, can you imagine that yesterday a trot car I took to a destination, the driver vomited till I alighted. The sad aspect was that the driver wasn't even wearing a mask when he was vomiting. In the car, a lot of the passengers too were not in masks. I told the driver to seek medical attention because the vomiting wasn't normal. He nearly had a grudge with me. Can you imagine? Yao Marvin, questioning team now in Nungwa here in Accra. Good afternoon, Obi. Government alone cannot curb the spread of the virus. Let us, on our part as patriotic citizens, strictly observe the safety protocols, i.e. wearing of nose masks, observing social distancing, etc. Greetings to Honorable Henry Korte and Kwewu House NPP Patriot, or Paris Samuel in Alajo. And we are bringing. Good afternoon, Obi. Looking at how fast this COVID-19 is ravaging human lives, apparently we can be free only when vaccination has started. Ask Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, when is vaccine being purchased for Ghana? Kwesi Reynolds in Agona Odobe. And Kojo, that's a very important question. Good afternoon, Obi. Looking at how fast, I think I've dealt with this one from Kwesi Reynolds. Akwesi Obeng, where Joseph Besianso says, had I known is always at last, so wear your masks to prevent COVID-19 from attacking you. The police personnel should enforce the safety protocols, especially the wearing of masks. Regards to Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe. Okay, let me see. There are... Okay, in the earlier report, Elias Odema from Tamale say na Usio Emma in some areas. Into the PR Communications Office, Ghana Water Company Limited, Northern Region in Tamale, a statement about, and I will go through that in a moment, explaining some of the shortages about Tamale. Over here in the UK, children go to school. Okay, I hear you. Way free Walanyo say fighting COVID-19 is each of us. Okay, also we are mandated, and that has to be taken seriously. Other than that, yes, the president has no option to reimpose total lockdown on us. Ghanaians are becoming too hard to admit simple and basic instructions. Walanyo Akwetia. Jesse Emmanuel says, as our kids are lacing their boots to go to school, let us ensure that they comply with the safety protocols as outlined by government and the Ministry of Health. I'm very confident that we would win in the end. Let me commend the president for his sterling leadership. Okay, let me see. A happy birthday to Mr. Isaac Awuza, Executive Secretary of Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association. May your God, whom you have served continuously, bless and keep you. Enjoy your day. Oye Danso Ewo PIWC in Dansoman. Elder Isaac Awuza, happy birthday to you. Lot and lot of other messages here. We say good afternoon. I lost a friend over the weekend to COVID-19 complications. It was so devastating and terrifying. And the terrifying bit is that he had no known underlying condition and was youthful. Thin is real, and this particular wave seems dangerous. Let's mask up and adhere to the protocols. Kudos to Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Prince Odeneho Oppong, and on the way Abraying. Just coming from Accra Central, only 3% of the population there are wearing face masks. Jesse Buakon Ewo Mamprobi, and on the way Abraying. Message is not endorsed. Happy birthday to Erica Opoku Bonso, Customer Relations Executive of ECG Tema South District and student of GIJ Public Relations Masters Class. And a happy birthday to you, Erica Opoku Bonso. We free class rep ho and Oseyem fa Emma. Kojo, let's come back in studio. Now for share. Yavasan eba dabe.
Minim se say and then Monday, it's not Tuesday, the days ahead of us. Committee and government task force are responsible for the vaccine program. Omushia now Omo put it together the final rollout plan. No Mampeni eche the next meeting, yes. I think by the end of the week now.
Yes.
We consider Mayako through no committee, I might receive a lot of proposals from, to say, FDA, GSA, private sector organizations, and sana Ministry of Health in Ankasa, kwayombe person be faso, aye vaccination, no. Even including the priority groups, different subgroupings, or different proposals.
Okay.
In fact, in some of the countries, Minkai country needing. Omu believe we say the young are the ones that must be the priority because omu no go around until omu no expose omu no careers. Until omu vice president who so omu deputy prime minister who said then 77 years so omu say on train kra one kwalad first. There are other countries that are doing the reverse. In Ghana no, what do the experts say? There are different views among the experts. Into committee no fitibe banada Dr. Samoa Ban, Dr. Nsia Sari, Dr. Patrick Umabwaje, sana Professor CFE, some of the private universities, even any public universities, they are all part of that committee, trying to complete a certain common program which they will present before the president. In now, to president's speech now, or say very soon, or by outlining the roadmap. The initial plan was that, say, a chain, say, GovView, say, then for the now, we'll get about 20% of our requirements, and we should be looking at between March and June. But the president's sentiments are that, first of all, how do you find the most reliable one? And two, how do we fast track it so that we can vaccinate a significant proportion of our population ASAP? In fact, there are some of the briefs I have seen that even suggest, say, so we will parameters now for geography kura won't be. Because if indeed Accra and Kumasi are all the biggest problems, maybe that's where you should prioritize among the prioritized groups. But now all of those proposals are together. And I think from Ochina Banadano, they are putting a final to it for the president to sign off, and then in one of his subsequent addresses, he can then detail the full vaccination program.
The full program.
But yes. was a usia botre now call step by step because vaccines ni bi o so all kinds of the reports are there are countries in which obia wo any mo na kwakonya covid no obia wo na kofa complications abreno vaccines ni bi o ha abrofo doctors na nkasa kra o mute say if you country o say omo shada trust no and san e wo there kofo wo gidie wo mbebre Oxford for DNA nkeka na identi ya there wo say sia botre kakra and the Emmet Dennis or Mampany, like he's done from the beginning, has put a wide range of experts around the table. And Bijidi said by the end of this week, they'll come to a certain position.
But the fact remains as we speak. And because competition around the world, country be a EPB. And I may share data be Israel, say, or my one call for, be in Israel. As we speak, in place orders be a.
The answer atoto menkasa reservations but yɛde yɛnsa toto baabi a sɛ yɛsi agyina sɛ ha ne yɛkɔ a yɛgye di sɛ yɛnsa bɛka bi public or state one yɛde yɛnsa atoto baabi a yɛnim sɛ yɛsi agyina sɛ wei ni ɛpa a yɛnsa bɛka bi wo sɛ mekan mabobɔ din bɛyɛ mmiɛnsa bi but preempt and I judge decision committee no and I say subcommittee ni be make they are going to have to go. One of the other proposals so I say de pa and said there are private organizations that say be staff in now 50,000.
Yes.
You be person better 50,000. Near to another 50,000 e dey ama on mine no. Nti yen ye dey 50,000 no mo fan wo yen nkofo na say mo man permission yen import yen fan wo nkofo na ye dey another 50,000 ama sa almost sample na type no person use no. What does FDA, what do GSA think about it? Is that the one? Until all of this work, himself it be or chna brother or tasama ba mo name penifo aka be ho adwuma. But nyame adom na say by the end of the week no mo wie on the vaccination program na make us on penny signal say obe outline the whole program no.
Some other issues briefly na fe ye ama wako. List bebre na ameki rounds in the last few days, especially after some Mampany swearing in about potential ministers of state. Almost every list I mean would APM.
Different.
Depending on list, it may be a free banner.
Ambassador to Infa. MP do ambassador.
No, but at least from Yanka's information, I didn't see a pick.
Ekosiisen. Sana, your primaries, Muti, I said national security information. I'm saying, no, national security, only click of information. But I come up
information I picking the two positions into foreign affairs minister and a presidential spokesperson.
Into a question there will be. And I candia picking at me. And what can mate?
But I was then I was watching.
What can you say? On Peninsula Media or can't nano asem on can it 3 months.
Yes.
Or Casseria, the or no count, no. And I mean, many quenya and much that the only 3 months.
And untiminch
there be me.
But the president has delayed, and I'm
no, he's not delayed.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm telling you, he's not delayed.
Because you were benchmark. Benchmark near the first time.
That's not the first
time. The first time by this time.
No. What did the first time you benchmark out? What to from?
Why?
You see, the first time, now or a new president.
Asempa FM.
New president. For example, now the decay in the Ghanaian economy. Now what share say or before more what some will call a large government to within 4 years tackle that problem. Now what 10 regions into from time you declare no winner through transition no he wasn't governing. There are no yani say any team no or people into the list came out early. And then, for example, we have a constitutional provision. He must ensure, say, the ministers, region be our is in our constitution.
Yeah. Regional balance.
Good. Now, 6 new dynamics come into the formation of the government. 6 new regions. And you'll be also one anymore first term, no be cow on in the second term. What does it mean when Be our say Bunsu Philip or ye me minister for X or Y or Z.
FM.
A Juma me didn't bass on Beye. Me I can say Juma 4 years a Juma because a part of the big government agenda and you see to me why we. But be also any dinechi oh no say Bunsu minister. But obviously be kono say Bunsu on tina buying him. I was a few nya brand or say Bunsu tenase. No church and say mo akwapa sumfopa. Why are they? But the echo any won't can be. And no additional worker about
Ekosiisen
and sana one more
FM.
or no munia bemo or do a ebem and sana more o keep warm. This trip, and I think I have the permission of the president to say this, having completed the first term Juma, he will not be forming the government on the same parameters like first, no. Daniel wants to be who say government, no, a way smaller in
Numbers
size.
number form.
Yes.
Yeah, at 80. He will not go beyond 80. That's what we've heard.
Aye, you're allowed to hear that.
Okay.
Problem be anyhow.
And you can confirm that.
I can't confirm or deny. But I can tell you, say, on form the same size or dynamic of government is a first one.
Okay.
Into when no nuances a woman no different. So and a second time, I think a transition reports about while signing the representatives to the various ministries. Our Moshe said the minister back on the otro one hand over notes my no na fi hand over to the new one. Slightly different. Under the new circumstances, you should expect to say along the same timelines. One last thing, Cramponi say the parliament in Thursday or Friday and sana determine who constitutes the majority in parliament. And here. Because having determined who constitutes the majority in parliament, you now set up the committee of selection. Now, committee of selection could determine the ratio for committees.
For committees.
Ratio for committees never banada 2 o'clock. And no be and sana caucuses no nominees aba. Who's the first committee I ever form, and the second committee I ever form, appointments committee.
Appointment committee, yeah.
And no be few bones or mampeni. Ebe signal.
Now the list now started.
Now was signaled in the list number said, "Why are ready with my appointments committee? No communication to the speaker.
Nominees.
These are my nominees."
And the appointment
within the
committee,
context
plus or minus, the bear time, man. It's a Tuesday report, neba.
Let me say I am Temoye Wednesday.
That's Wednesday, alternative Wednesday. Yeah.
Because at Tuesday 2 o'clock now.
Yeah.
The committee of selection.
They report.
They report plenary. Then the emphasis say report ni ba na wiana caucuses na tena se
reps na
into bon say abantemo a so mka so be appointments dey craft first separate from Ghana abantemo
by Wednesday in the anonya ba meaning say any time from Thursday or Mampenyi to me started the list now.
I suspect so.
And we should expect Kojo Oppong Nkrumah in that list.
I think so we should not also give the president some unnecessary pressure.
Ekosiisen
form groups be on social media naturally your bogumawe. I will say say you're running executive presidency.
That's true.
Obi biara o mampeni be boni din so onko som no baby. We serve at the pleasure of the president.
Yes.
So mampeni ka say ebia first half no or do be about 3. They say we here sa defensive play no crampo biom or ko full attack. Into on package re ho sa anti betena se. Na rather the strikers be 2 and air bar. Some of these pressures here so we dey also we also I feel bon say a create said new.
Ghana for so say
man free hand.
Omanpanyin nim appointment yeah.
Yes.
Yen so ye tie kira ye hu appointees no bi obo ne homodin.
No correct.
The Ghanaian
people wa born homodin obi tie me obi wa born homodin. Ewa adwuma bi na first term ye hia emu. Ah say adwuma no. Second term e bi say adwuma no. Enye adwuma ye ba beto aso aye. Obi o ha bon say the flagship program bi e share inside the first term. Because near here will be of a particular temperament and energy level near there you're pushing
to deliver on
that. Because our flagship program we into Asubi. Tibia no I had the power, but the fact that I had the power doesn't mean say.
That's why I had the partners here to Asubi wa. Yen question baby for.
There be said no. You hear from another say it would the pressure no me amisrem. More pressure no call down. Krom here ni o man penny be any list na fi. Em said the idea chi
So, Ekosiisen is now Asempa 94.7 FM. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah MP of Wasia Yerebi constituency. And the Oyomampenyin rep information ministry. And Motesi no aiding comment. The communication from chief of staff was clear. Say, Muntimin take policy decisions.
Nope.
And is Oko Ejuma we den.
In fact, enne say me ko Ejuma.
Yes.
Na me de tumi krata. Say me 6th no na by law ye tumi sign te pack ye name nyina hand over your assets.
Of course.
But on manpening through chief of staff my krata no. Now so the krata no come chief director.
Okay.
Say oba penny and say chief director was say tumi a metumi de befi ha krampo any. Now, ministry, say until representatives were appointed, they were being handled by
the chief directors.
By the chief directors.
Okay.
Until the day-to-day running of the ministries, except policy and contractual matters.
Yeah.
Or be ensure say any abide no direction, abide for no abide direction. Mwebra. Onu be di hun komo.
Okay.
Timisi anope me call a few things related to COVID-related communications, back to school communications near there. Or they betray me, say, I was say to me, Emma, the necessary instructions so that Oman Penning desire near the opposite say to me achieve to me. But policy decisions, the enya they are to me because cabinet in crime form way. Cabinet in form we no Oman Penning Gazatanasia and everybody policy direction. Say na me pese quality more ministries ni no be an translating into the working programs. What translate we are now the finance minister at said the who come about budget for the year.
Okay.
Can we say 2020 and any budget?
Okay.
There were appropriation in advance of your expenditure in advance of appropriation. Tiafina policy direction nebeba na ye ni na
as information minister now we a cabinet minister.
Technically speaking, no.
Okay.
Because the information ministry was not designated as one of the 19 or 21. Yeah. But Omampeni Akufo-Addo governance style is separate. Say, onye cabinet minister, you can be in attendance.
Okay.
Na say nkomo aye di no say won sunsun so be about, for example, information and adeben watu ebisa now so to me we say opani baby amukwe dey head tro kakra and I say na ahati. So yes, I was in attendance.
Okay.
And it was a wonderful learning opportunity that I'm very grateful to the president for.
And what that means, Nese, you are now prepared
to
now.
We're a friend conjecture and not speculation.
You are
now tricks and
you are now prepared to
juju and
step
tricks
into a proper cabinet position.
Determination.
Whereas Obi, I've always maintained that MP for Wasia Yerebi is the best fit for the information ministry. 4 more for Kojo at information ministry. Hey. Alex Martins na say men okay.
There be don't say adwuma no. Okay, maminya o dey to asuna kan.
Alex Martins in Wokoforidia and on the way aba. No, Sisia Kojo has nothing to prove at the information ministry. Why dey also ye behind T. I was so konim. Obi say sebi moti akro mo na hwe mo chi kro mo nante ko mo. We say Obi, please ask Kojo about Ghanaians in Italy of 1 year and over to get appointment to renew their passport. I don't understand, but why other challenges were Italy, Ghana for passport renewal? I don't know, but we say in as much as appointees serve at the pleasure of the president, lobbying through legal means cannot be labeled as undue pressure. It's imperative for people to also appreciate that we foot soldiers, i.e. Ghanaians, bear the brunt of the incompetence and shenanigans of some appointees. Hence, our voices must be heard. Sir Obama, Onoye, Executive Secretary Ma Afa almost say Alliance for Foot Soldiers Advocacy, a group in the NP.
Obama, but Mr. was a yema on my penny so akwanyana on wanted to we are if need be or better the entire
Good afternoon, Obi. I quite remember a video of a Nigerian physician who practices in America who came out telling the whole world that chloroquine and zithromax were the best remedy against COVID-19 infection. She was immediately attacked by the powerful drug manufacturers Pfizer and Moderna. And that video was blocked by many social media platform managers. Has the government of Ghana promoted the use of these drugs? I believe this will be much safer than the vaccines, which is known to have side effect that can be devastating. George New York Haite, NPP Chicago chapter, and on the way Abraham.
Yeah, George. Also, George realizing this So can vaccine it's supposed to prevent you from getting infected.
Getting infected.
And
Yeah.
as
Any
getting
treatment.
any
Yeah.
treatment.
Yeah.
Until the two are different.
Yeah, different. That's true. Greetings, Obi. Ghanaians must change the orientation about life. How could you take 500 Ghana cedis from persons who have tested positive in order to change their result status for them? GES must consider introducing a subject dubbed patriotism. Right from primary school to senior high school, we should always put Ghana first. Fieron, Ewo Mata Heko, and on the way, Abba. We say, good afternoon, Obi. Removing KON from the information ministry will be a big disaster for the government. Greetings to Majority Chief Whip, Honorable Frank Anodompre. Maintain, or no, I launching a hashtag, maintain KON. Castro and I know Ewan Sawim Castro. Or that's one I can't hear there. We say good afternoon, Obi. Please, as you are encouraging us to wear our mask, also educate us on how to use the disposable face mask. Because I know some people who wear it for about a week. Oh, disposable one, then so. Kojo Oppong and on the way about Kojo, thank you for your message. We say, okay, into Thomas Boache, Tom Wright, UG Tescon Secretary, and so it was our maintain agenda, and you remember so later. Okay, yeah, call into finally. I mean, to those who have said, you've done a fantastic job as information minister, and a lot of the message they be or mankind. Into the president should probably maintain you. What would you tell them?
Obi, I serve at the pleasure of the president. Mekai Eda Dr. Mustafa Hamid Frem. You know, Bobe Nundukra.
Yeah.
Eyi Masutre say, Abochi, on from Abochi, now I'm shake. Or say, President is about to call you, or the Jume Biba Bemau. Uya Frem, me ni hum komo.
Okay.
And I'm penny and pa President Frem, me call the office on me din komo. Near the Edgeman Mammy, I say, Mammy kind of say, I serve at your pleasure.
At your pleasure, sir.
Now, I will not disappoint you. In the last 2.5 years that I've been at the ministry, many and pious and I'm hajide and anama dokusia major. The bit me a year, Edia Boa buying chidom and penny chidom, they are born in some who de rule. COVID break by say or yeah na ye tie sim near and Michelle be say 2 years sure pass COVID no nya bi da na me say I say na woni nkofo yi ko buy be ti dey we nya bi e na say challenge akopon na boy ho buy I be do some people so but throughout that period ni na no nyame adom me pious na na ma yetumi aboy ho modern e dey pion mampani agenda no any aban agenda no we serve at his pleasure on why in his wisdom no will be making the decisions moving forward. Media the American say a mobia in for pressure be no the man the free hand na onye na ban because to the be a formula the ball first half no and no cramp na the ball second half. First half he covered the by last minute and the COVID may be something we'll live with for the next 3 to 4 years. Economic direction near the Niamutums and Tiano.
No, I ain't taking a decision. But for some of these appointments, President Efre Amanfonu di Hong Kong. Have you had that meeting with him?
I will not answer that question.
You will not answer that question. Now, apart from you say, or background, or a lawyer, or background in finance, or background in economy, and all of that, ain't he? See video magic.
I will not answer that question.
And also when you say I do see video,
I already make a go on and you need number say me basa me be body wuro about COVID-19 emuya ya yurem. Na ye nyina kwa ya be fa so ya bo ya ho ban.
Ochina Supreme Court na say.
Ampa.
That is a pre-trial conference, case management and all of that might happen ochina.
Yeah.
More expectations anything.
And it's a case management processes in the Bekoso. So we share I'm say CI 99 127 now. First Ura Mahama and a bar by petition.
Yes.
And I hear my answer. And or the application bar so per se or amending a petition no. To your court first day of hearing no. The court here and say court need tie any application no say so ye ma kwan na correct mistakes are e petition ni mu na ye tactical opposition to that tactical opposition to that ampeni ampa omu bisa no say na dey na person ye correction cause na ye pese sa dey na ba bontin or chire say why mistake.
Yes.
No person correct it. And Supreme Court justices no so here beside a lawyer say na na person mo oppose. Munye mistake that we say amaba. Be mistake no say obe correct am and incorrect. Nti your man akonya say onko correct it. Na yeso ye pese ye correct your answer no based on the correction
based
to
on
me.
the correction.
Ya eni nyinara. Ochna no ye pre-trial nti ombe share timelines ni the structure of the trial ni ade. And also the structure of the hearing of the petition. Because it's possible Krampus on be because there will be no trial. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible because
based on preliminary objection.
Yes, it's possible because the preliminary legal objection. Who can say 99 or say once and no file or preliminary legal objection not to the count. And here assembly say the omodia beto ono and your election petition properly so called. Ntinya there was say yesi hunkunya Krampus. Se court ni na so besi hunkunya any problem. But emremu no yes hu say the da ho no enye election petition properly so called. Nti court no utumi dismiss no animanim ya am me gidi say ochna court no ebe factor into it when they want to hear some preliminary legal objection no ebia because of the expediencies of the trial no ombeka say yemfa written submissions
yes
emra ebia because omo pese periperi na womasi hu konwa administration of justice no e dead mo bi ehun nti no ebi krampo a ombetumi aka say yembra by viva voce we mo bi 10-15 minutes say
be oral argument
address the bench on your preliminary legal objection. Now points of law are all raising no say counsels on the other side no so almost addresses to the court. They may choose to give everybody a time. So okay, yeah, agenda by this date, we'll be addressing. No, be also Tifie na result them say, hey, say lawyer dede kwa na oye digu ya sumbu ofie na obonkro. Utu tina fie no say ampa ase mo kan wunyina. So ye so a ye chiremu in various languages. Mo bi otifie meswa ote enyina se sabre say bi na say suomoto any phantos official ni nema no mo kana no onti ase a lawyer for Latin akese na de jijin kofo sikedi do say eno no onti ase a ye kiremu otwi o no so atumi o say ampa asem no mo kana poso ni ti ebe nti ochena ne de case management structure no na ye expect say on be outlining, and one of the first things I expect in say on be the addresses to the court on your preliminary legal objections, because
that's tomorrow.
No, when that will take place. Because they be determine whether or not there will be a trial.
A trial in the first place.
Because preliminary legal objections.
Na court need you tomorrow.
Na court na kase yen ya semino. Emrem dia yen ye kano.
No cry.
Ye no cry. Obeka se ene asem bi anywhere say court ni hwem. Na ni say ye obi a wan say asem say no preliminary legal objections. Etumi sebi etwanitia lawyer ni bia sebi wagro court da na enim say asem no ekwan a ye fa so e kan say e said dia wakwa hemfie me say wo de wasem ba etore bia nkofo say technical na kan bi ye say bia wo de wasem ba wo pese nananom etena wasem so for dwan fita any snap pentu ebra and no now the bar now what Potokasi may see what invoking the jurisdiction of Nananom Ewasim Wiso. Maybe I will buy Akofa Akukubia Bana say, don't make a say, Umfa Semnim by him. Your boss has sem gua. Ubekazu na say we a technical, there be a kahubi. Into technical no points of law no a part of the litigation process. There have been times I akokota yenuanom or more the preliminary legal objection. Aqua court no a semni na mua. Utumi hu say asem we say ini nyina so bia mamema one last example, the Republic versus MC Kojo Oppong Nkrumah Charles Rekubrobe.
Ghana at 50 case.
Ghana at 50 case no me kai nuanom NDC for that time na betu mo de risu na ye attorney general press conference kasa wo krom say na ye winning case no after
commission of inquiry
the lawyers for Rekubrobe Charles
at the time
Charles Rekubrobe Kojo Oppong Nkrumah lawyers. It wasn't exactly a preliminary legal objection, but they fought the case on a technical point of law. Say commission of inquiry evidence without more. Without more. Untumi mfe no man bejina court.
Without more, meaning without further investigations.
And I say one conducting investigations be outside that one. Anybody of evidence be outside that one. now fat citizen of Ghana na nipa ba now strip on of all the defense rights, which is what happens at a commission of inquiry. Now compelling to provide evidence, sometimes even against himself, contrary to the right to remain silent in county adina. Now you now the Bible to court and him say, aha, enuni mumfa emwa kumfua uninyina so. Nti bon say on what appeared to some as a technical legal ground, the court held to say they are not prosecution in trial in so. Into technical legal grounds, preliminary legal objections.
Coincidentally, the lawyer then for the defendant was
Mr. Kolendi at the time.
Was it Kolendi or
yes, Kolendi was one of the lawyers at the time.
Okay. In fact, was he the lead counsel? In fact, but I remember saying Akutwampa.
In fact, Mr. Asem Nemami called law school.
Oh, okay.
Because by the time you I had an by the time I caught through case so wow, now law na one intricacies sir. And only tickle me fancy to go to law school. It was that particular case. Back to your question, the expectations they say case management will be outlined. And one of the first things we expect and they say your preliminary legal objection. You been your address a court on it. And money you be one say on those points of law, no court no crab to me take a decision. Said there's nothing before the courts.
There's no case to hear in the first.
There's nothing before the courts to deal with. They're very possible.
Kojo Oppong Nkrumah.
Present sir.
My nasi enumerate.
One family title nanka the president representative
at the information ministry. No, way too much. Way too much.
And ona me de boy me hu safo he. Well be me that say akwanya odi ama me ne komo aye de be sere watiefo ene wahwefo online me nsa da me nsayam covid no kum etitiru ni anintin kum sebe yen aye nibi.
Yes.
Enye esikafo yare enya brochirifo yare anase entro bi aba ye di wo radio so. Eye real kum nipa mankofo yare eda dem wode kakra wo beye ne se tete woni wunu oben won mon tete mon tem abre ni abre bia no pe ensuo ene semna kakra na fe hohoro sa unya bia hand sanitizer ya alcohol wo mi fa hohoro nsa abre ni abre bia because woni mba bia wo do nsa akoka bibi so obi abegina wa kasa na ne nsa na se na no tesu akogua wodi agado nsa akote yare ni bi akoka wani ana wo hwene ana wano ebetumi a mfa wo nsa nkeka wani ene wo hwene ene wano ansa na de atwato no bo modern se wo firifie a wo be hye wo mask
nose mask
mask shemini mask no wo sha fa kata wo hwene ene wano nyina so enye chin mask na wo de ahye wa body ase na enye side mask na wayi ne baako say wo de kata wano no hwene a se wo obi a wo kasa ebe arrested droplet na nkwa nkogu baby mo bi amfa ne nsa nkoka na nse mpo na nkwa nkogu obi so yenkwala na eko school no so no mami aban beye ne de papa aban beye ne de but emfa ne say aban no so obema mask nti kwaku de ko aban be ma mask se wo benya mask ni bia ma no ofie afiase de abon ho ban abra a okoya enkebeboa ansa na de aban de be ma no school ho no ne nsa aka ye ne sa ne nyina ye boy ho ban ye di nhihye ne so a senior yitumi ma yare na no brass e ba form to be 340 something no sa na ebetumi
in fact, KON is someone who has mastery over how he uses language. He understands the nuances and can use it to communicate his message effectively and persuasively. No wonder he is a fellow and a true son of Father Casford. Now, Casford Horn now.
Can you say we read this one? I'm catching say hold.
That be also can he get up and hold? I don't know in the studio to prove to the world how Casford made him. Guy G, when you walk in New Jersey.
You really do camera now.
Kojo Medase.
Mr. Medase, Nyaminka.
Great. Ekosiisen is higher sempa 94.